Hello there, you're tuning into Nightline with me, Nakia Basharudin. News making the headlines. Approval for new Chief Justice expected by this week, says Prime Minister. And over 30% increase in unsold residential properties in Malaysia. Welcome. The government is still waiting for consent from the Conference of Rulers on the appointment of the new Chief Justice. Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad said the Conference of Rulers is expected to give their approval by Saturday.
Itu kita tunggu raja-raja punya approval. I think it should come before the end of this week.
Tun Dr. Mahathir said this during a meeting with government officers at Sri Pusmadita, organised by the Public Service Department in Putrajaya on Tuesday. The post of Chief Justice was previously held by Tan Sri Richard Malanjum, who retired on April 12th. On another issue, Tun Dr. Mahathir said he is not worried that the approval rating for him and Pakatan Harapan has dropped. As the ruling government, Tun Dr. Mahathir said Pakatan Harapan still has years to address public dissatisfaction, as indicated in the recent poll.
When you are doing something, of course, it's open to criticism. When you are in the opposition, all you do is to criticize. You do nothing. So there is nothing to criticize about them. We are aware of that. Kita memang bila jadi kerjaan, kita expect to be criticized and to lose some of our popularity. But elections are different. The election, they will make a proper assessment as to who is fit to govern.
He also pointed out that the current government was aware that some civil servants who previously had an extra income during the kleptocratic government ruling were disappointed as they no longer could earn a side income from corruption. However, Tun Dr. Mahathir stressed that the PH government will continue with the agenda to combat corruption despite the decline in public support for the government and himself. According to the recent poll by the Merdeka Centre, the government's approval rating was just at 39% from 79% from May 31st, 2018 to March 11th, 2019. The Prime Minister also called on civil servants to stay neutral in their work and be loyal to the government of the day to ensure that the country's administration can run smoothly. Tun Dr. Mahathir said this is in line with the system of democracy practiced in the country, where the government of the day is elected by the people. He said it is not easy for officers to shift their loyalty to a government helmed by a new party after serving 61 years under a government from a different party.
Sebab itu bagi jentera pentadbiran amat penting sekali mereka pegang kepada syarat yang dikenakan kepada mereka, iaitu sama ada kerajaan bertukar ataupun tidak, pentadbir naklah ikut kerajaan semasa, the current government. Dan saya dapati bahawa selama hampir 1 tahun kerajaan baru ini memerintah, umumnya kita tidak dapat banyak masalah.
Meanwhile, Tun Dr. Mahathir also confirmed that former Johor Exco member Mazlan Bujang has been appointed as the new chairman of Bersatu Johor.
Saya ingat Mazlan, I think he has been given a letter already of appointment.
The state chairman post was held by Bersatu President Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin, who is also the Home Minister, while the newly appointed Johor Menteri Besar, Datuk Dr. Sahruddin Jamal, is the party's secretary. The year-on-year residential overhang in Malaysia jumped 30.6% to 32,313 units, valued at 19.86 billion ringgit in 2018. Finance Minister Lim Guan Eng said unsold under-construction units also rose to 80,984 units, an increase of 30.9% compared to the previous year.
Kebanyakan rumah kediaman tidak terjual ini tertumpu di Perak, iaitu sebanyak 2,950 unit dan Kuala Lumpur sebanyak 2,690 unit. Dari aspek pasaran, bacaan awalan indeks harga rumah Malaysia berada pada paras 193.3 mata dengan perubahan tahunan sebanyak 3.1% berbanding tahun 2017.
He said this at the launch of the Malaysian Property Market Report 2018 on Tuesday. Guan Eng added that high-rise units formed the bulk of the overhang units, representing 43.4% of the total. The number of new launches in 2018, meanwhile, contracted by 14.9% to 66,040 units versus 77,570 units launched in 2017. New property launches in Kuala Lumpur and Selangor went down by 56.1% and 9.9% respectively, while Johor decreased by 17.3%. Meanwhile, Lim is optimistic that more people will be buying houses and commercial property this year. Lim believes the home ownership campaign will contribute to this year's outlook and performance in the property market.
Kerajaan juga mengecualikan duty stamp secara sepenuhnya ke atas perjanjian pinjaman bagi pembelian rumah kediaman yang bergelayakan bernilai melebihi RM300,000 hingga RM2.5 juta. Tawaran ini sah untuk rakyat Malaysia dan adalah hanya bagi jualan yang diutamakan dari Januari hingga Jun 2019 ketika kempen tersebut untuk projek perumahan yang diberikan diskaun sekurang-kurangnya 10% serta disahkan oleh lidah.
Economic Affairs Minister Datuk Seri Muhammad Azmin Ali stressed that the East Coast Rail Link (ECRL) project needs to bring new industries and industrial sector development to the East Coast. Speaking to reporters after delivering his keynote address at the Malacca Berwibawa seminar on Tuesday, he said this in turn would spur economic growth that benefits the people in the surrounding areas.
Kita kekalkan skop yang ada, tetapi kalau kita dalam perbincangan dengan pihak pemaju, kalau kita merasakan ada skop yang boleh kita semak semula dan ini akan meneruskan penjimatan. Dan itu tertakluk kepada perbincangan yang akan dijalankanlah. Kerana antara syarat baru yang kita letakkan ialah mesti membawa industri baru ke Pantai Timur. Kalau tidak ada industri, maka tidak ada pengangkutan kargo. Jadi tidak ada sebab untuk pembinaan ECRL.
He said the project's 21.5 billion ringgit savings was not due to the scaling down of its scope and specifications as alleged by several parties. Instead, nearly half of the savings is derived from the government's decision to not allow the ECRL to pass through Gombak, which has a dam that would need a tunnel at a cost of 10 billion ringgit. A former aide of Datuk Seri Muhammad Najib Tun Razak on Tuesday told the Kuala Lumpur High Court that he collected political intelligence for the then government. Habibul Rahman Kadir Shah revealed that he was paid to gather such information for Barisan Nasional (BN's) political benefit. The 62-year-old accountant said this when he was questioned about a 2.5 million ringgit cheque he received from Datuk Seri Najib in 2015. The prosecution's 23rd witness in Datuk Seri Najib's money laundering and criminal breach of trust trial said the money was reimbursement for political operations he had done. Habibul also expanded on the kind of political defense operations which he did for the then government. He said in politics it was necessary to have such intelligence and that such information will not come for free. Habibul also said he never asked Datuk Sri Najib what his source of money was when he collected the cheque, but assumed that it was a political donation, especially when he was the Prime Minister, and that everyone wanted to give money to operate. Habibul said he collected the cheque personally from Datuk Sri Najib's official residence in Putrajaya. The hearing before Justice Muhammad Nazlan Muhammad Ghazali continues. Fake medical leave certificate syndicate busted. Details when we return. Welcome back. In Kuala Lumpur, police have busted a syndicate selling fake medical leave certificates in Kuala Lumpur and Selangor. Kuala Lumpur Police Chief Datuk Sri Mazlan Lazim said 6 individuals, 5 men and a woman, were separately detained from April 22nd to April 27th. Datuk Sri Mazlan said the syndicate was moving around the city, selling MCs for RM25 apiece since early 2017.
Kan yang mana yang tak buat pemeriksaan, dia tengok, dia akan bagi cuti. Dan apabila kita tengok pada klinik-klinik cop-cop ni, memang klinik ni semua wujud. Dan nama doktor tu pun wujud. Jadi sudah tentu kalau mereka telefon di pihak klinik ataupun di hospital kerajaan, bertanyakan doktor, nama doktor kebenaran, ada tak doktor so and so bekerja di sini? Sudah tentu jawapannya ada. Jadi takkanlah majikan kadang nak cek sampai tengok cek buku resit nombor berapa semua sekali.
He said the syndicate members had visited the clinics and hospitals, got the names of the doctors there, and then had rubber stamps done. He said police raided 3 houses in Pandan Indah, Ampang and Cheras, and a printing company in Seri Kembangan. Police seized 216 types of stamps, 4,631 MCs, 257 official receipt booklets, 5 handphones, 1 computer, a keyboard and mouse, and 1 portable hard disk. Datuk Sri Mazlan said the case was being investigated under the Penal Code. He urged anyone with information on similar cases to contact the police hotline at 032115 9999 or visit the nearest police station. A former special officer to Datuk Sri Hishamuddin Tun Hussein was remanded for 3 days on suspicion of arranging projects at the Defence Ministry around 2017, including the supply of fighter aircrafts worth about 1.8 million ringgit. The remand order is from Tuesday until May 2nd. It was issued by Magistrate Irza Zulaika Rohanuddin following an application by the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, MACC. Investigations on the 50-year-old individual with the Datuk title was conducted under the MACC Act 2009. He was arrested at 12 noon on Monday at the MACC headquarters in Putrajaya after giving his statement to the anti-graft body. According to initial investigations, the individual was allegedly receiving bribes from several contractors in return for equipment procurement projects through direct negotiations with a ministry. It is learned that the MACC is also tracking down several individuals and supplier companies around the country suspected to be related to the individual. In Terengganu, a mechanic will be spending 12 months in jail for slapping his wife at their house in Kampung Alor Atas Tol on April 17th. 25-year-old Muhammad Hafiz earlier pleaded guilty to the charge under Section 323 of the Penal Code before Kuala Terengganu Magistrate Abdul Hai Salim. According to the charge sheet, Muhammad Hafiz slapped his wife after she questioned his action of hitting his 8-year-old stepson. Meanwhile, at a separate court, Muhammad Hafiz also pleaded guilty to a charge of hurting his stepson. The court set May 13th for sentencing. DAP's Padungan Assemblyman Wong King Wei was suspended for 12 months from Tuesday by the Sarawak State Assembly for breaching parliamentary privileges by accusing the Speaker of being prejudiced against the opposition. The motion to suspend Wong was tabled by Sarawak Tourism, Arts, Culture, Youth and Sports Minister Dato' Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah. It was supported by 64 state lawmakers from Gabungan Party Sarawak, while 9 from Sarawak Pakatan Harapan opposed. Wong, however, maintained that the suspension was unjustified as he did nothing wrong. The infamous super yacht Equanimity now has a new name, Tranquility. According to ship tracker's site Marine Traffic, the yacht is currently docked at Singapore. Genting Malaysia, which bought the Equanimity for $126 million from the government, reportedly said it hopes the super yacht would stand out among its competitors for its premium clients. The Equanimity was bought by fugitive businessman Low Taek Jo for close to $1 billion, with money originating from One Malaysia Development Berhad 1MDB. Primary Industries Minister Teresa Kok urges more industry players to play their roles in promoting Malaysia's palm oil by using Sayangi Sawitku campaign logo on palm oil-based products. This, she said, is important to raise awareness on the commodity that has been challenged due to the European Union EU's decision to ban Malaysia's palm oil.
Tujuan kita mau letak yang minta mereka letak logo Sayangi Sawiku ialah supaya pengguna kita ni mereka sedar minyak masak ini dan banyak lagi produk yang mereka makan itu sebenarnya mengandungi minyak sawit. Ini adalah satu proses kesedaran pendidikan yang kita cuba lancarkan di seluruh negara supaya rakyat kita sedar minyak sawit adalah begitu rapat dalam kehidupan mereka dan juga dalam ekonomi kita dan supaya mereka akhirnya juga jadi duta sawit bagi Malaysia. Ataupun apa-apa
She was speaking after the launch of Saji Sayangi Sawitku campaign by FGV Holdings Berhad on Tuesday. Meanwhile, the ministry is also committed in producing palm oil sustainably through mandatory certification, Malaysian Sustainable Palm Oil MSPO, beginning January 1st, 2020. In 2018, palm oil industry contributed 67.5 billion ringgit to exports and 4.5% to gross domestic product GDP. Seafood's Sundiran Berhad targets to double the number of millionaires under its digital marketing programs from 100 to 200 new millionaires this year. To achieve the target, its director, Jamaluddin Bahari, said more mentoring programs and digital millionaire conferences will be conducted.
2014, 15, 16, 17, 18 kita dah buat event kita dah lebih 100,000 orang. Termasuk saya juga jadi speaker untuk agensi kerajaan yang mana Seafood adalah trainer dan pengubah modul untuk usahawan MDEC, e-usahawan.
He told reporters after launching 100,000 free books for entrepreneurs and Seafood's Digital Millionaire Conference live on Tuesday. The conference, which will focus on digital marketing, will be held from July 5th to the 7th, with more than 20 speakers and 7,000 participants are expected to join the conference. Japan witnesses first abdication in over 2 centuries. Do stay with us. We're back with the foreign news. Venezuelan opposition leader Juan Guaido on Tuesday went to a military base in the nation's capital to proclaim the end of socialist President Nicolas Maduro's regime and called for a military uprising. Guaido appeared in a video posted online standing among heavily armed soldiers, proclaiming he is starting the final phase of Operation Liberty. He appeared alongside formerly jailed opposition leader Leopoldo Lopez, who said he'd been freed by military officers loyal to the opposition. The outcome of the high-stakes gambit remained unclear as protesters gathered despite billowing tear gas, and the regime promised punishment for any who joined a rebellion. The coup's announcement was welcomed by the president of the European Parliament. It also has the apparent backing of the Trump administration and many members of Congress. Japan's Emperor Akihito has officially declared his abdication in a historic ceremony at the Imperial Palace in Tokyo on Tuesday, bringing the Heisei imperial era to an end. He is the first Japanese monarch to stand down in more than 200 years. In his last public address as emperor, Akihito thanked the public for their support during his 30-year reign and expressed hope for a peaceful future. Moments earlier, the Prime Minister Shinzo Abe thanked Akihito and Empress Michiko for their decades of service, noting that the couple had stood by the people, giving them courage and hope in the aftermath of several natural disasters to have struck Japan during his reign. The elaborate abdication ritual began at a Shinto shrine Tuesday morning before officially announcing his retirement in front of other members of the royal family and top government officials. His eldest son, Crown Prince Naruhito, will ascend the throne later on Wednesday as the nation ushered in the new imperial era of Reiwa, meaning order and harmony. The 85-year-old was given permission to abdicate after saying he felt unable to fulfill his role because of his age and declining health. Over in Australia, a local man was charged by the Elizabeth Magistrate Court on Tuesday with the possession and manufacture of explosives. This was after bomb experts destroyed explosive materials found in a fridge at his home in Adelaide. The suspect, Aaron Ellis, age 43, was remanded in custody after appearing in the Elizabeth Magistrates Court on Tuesday. Police said Ellis had come to the attention of the department in February after he posted on Facebook that he hated Muslims. Police visited his house in Davern Park but could not find anything constituting an offense. However, police returned on Monday night after receiving new information that Ellis was in possession of chemicals. The court was also told that there was no evidence that Ellis was planning a terror attack. Meanwhile, in New Zealand, police have arrested a man after a suspected explosive device and ammunition was found at a vacant property in Christchurch. It is understood that the 33-year-old man will appear in court on Wednesday on firearms-related charges. According to local authorities, police were called to the empty property in the suburb of Phillipstown on Tuesday after a report of suspicious items. Police then evacuated a number of nearby houses and temporarily cordoned off the street in the area before an explosives disposal unit rendered the package safe hours later. Police, however, did not provide any background about the man or his possible motivations. Quarterfinal action from the FA Cup. We'll be right back. We're back with sports football, the FA Cup. 3 quarterfinal matches were played on Wednesday night. Kuala Lumpur held to a 3-3 draw by Felda United. PKNP played out a 0-0 draw with Perak, and Kedah thrashed PKNS FC 3-1. In Manjung, Perak will face an uphill battle when they return into the second leg of the quarterfinal. The first half ended goalless as both teams proved a tough nut to crack right from kickoff. Both teams then pushed for the winner in the second half, but the result remained 0-0 as they were unable to convert the chances. They will meet again on May 11th, and the Bosgarus will now need a win to ensure their place in the last four. On to badminton, the 2019 New Zealand Open. Two national mixed doubles advanced to the second round after defeating their respective opponents in the opening round match on Wednesday. Goh Soon Huat and Chevon Lai made a bright start as they dispatched Singaporean pair 21-11, 21-17. They will next face Lee Jae-hua and Shu Ya-ching of Taiwan in the second round. Meanwhile, Tan Kian Meng and Lai Pei-jing also made it to the next stage after beating Indonesia's Rinov Rivaldi and Pita Haningtyas Mentari 21-18 and 21-14. Waiting in the next round will be another Indonesian pair, Akbar Bintang Cahyono and Anissa Saufika. We've reached the end of Nightline this time around. Before we leave, let's take a look at this video of an intricate model of a city made entirely out of cardboard from discarded boxes. With that, I'm Nakia Bashiruddin. Thanks for keeping me company.